Well, we teach communications here not only to provide a foundation for the students when they go through the program, so we're kind of all on the same page, if you will. But more importantly, I think, to allow our students to make a better connection with their clients. As most people probably are aware of, so many things can come up in the context of communication that can allow people to be either defensive or misunderstood, or all those things that come up. So a lot of what it is just listening skills. Communication is, I think anyway, mostly about being able to listen, and that can be challenging. So as we teach it here, we teach a series of what we call foundational classes. And we start out with a class called Observe Imagine, and we talk about how so often people will observe something and right away jump to some conclusion about it, which can get in the way right at the beginning of communication, because we're not even connecting on that level. I'm looking at you and I'm interpreting how you're addressed or how you are, and I'm imagining this thing about you, and then I act as if it's true. Rather than using certain language, we teach language skills as well. Words are used that can distance oneself from their feelings or from their own experience. Especially in the terms of a client-therapist relationship, what's really important, what we want to, as therapists, what we want to convey to the client, that they're important. And that language skills, the language skills that we use and the listening skills that we use can really convey that right from the beginning, to help to start creating a sense of safety for the client, a sense of importance for the client, that they matter. I like to think that a lot of things that we teach in communication skills are intended to give people so many of the needs that were not met growing up. You know, being validated and feeling maybe important or needed, wanted. We also teach classes on how to give feedback, which is really critical, really crucial, I think, in a relationship. How do I give somebody some feedback without imposing on them or being judgmental or wanting them to change? It's a fine art in terms of communicating with somebody in a way that can still allow them to be who they are and still communicate what my needs and wants are.